Hello, welcome to our channel Learn to Score. In this video, I am going to solve exercise 2.5 of sets chapter. I hope you will like the video. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos and share this video with your friends so that it can be of use to them also. Thank you. The first question of exercise 2.5 is if A is a set containing elements 1, 2, 3 and 4 and B is a set of elements 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6, then find A intersection B and B intersection A, and we have to say whether they are equal or not. This particular symbol is called intersection symbol. That's why we read this as A intersection B and this one as B intersection A. Before solving this problem, I would like you to quickly recall what does it mean by intersection of sets. For that, let's consider an example. Here I am considering two sets. Set A has elements 2, 5, 6 and 8 and set B has elements 5, 7, 9 and 1. Right? Let me represent these two sets in the Venn diagram form. As you see here, the set A contains elements 2, 5, 6 and 8, right? This is represented using green color circle. Set A is represented using green color circle in the Venn diagram and set B is represented using blue color circle in the Venn diagram. As you see here, set B has 5, 7, 9 and 1 as the elements. If you observe this, 5 is common to both the sets, right? As you see here, we can say that 5 belongs to A and 5 belongs to B also. That's why in the Venn diagram, it is common to both the sets A and B. The point you have to note here is the elements common to sets A and B is denoted as A intersection B. So that is mathematically represented as shown here. This is called A intersection B, right? It means A intersection B is a set of elements common to sets A and B. Please note this. This can be written in the set builder form as shown here. A intersection B is a set of elements X such that X belongs to A and X belongs to B. It means A intersection B is the set containing elements which are common to both the sets A and B. In this particular case, A intersection B is 5. The set containing element 5 is your A intersection B. Now let's go back to the problem. Here A is given, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And B is given, that has elements 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. Now we have to find A intersection B, right? We said that elements common to sets A and sets A and B is denoted as A intersection B, right? As you see here, 1 belongs to A and B, right? 2 belongs to A and B also. 3 belongs to A and B also, right? Whereas 4 belongs to A only, but not for B. It doesn't belong to B. Similarly, if you look at 5 belongs to B, but not to A, right? 6 belongs to B, but not to A. Now, as per this definition, A intersection B is the set containing elements which are common to both the sets A and B, right? It means 1, 2 and 3 are going to be the elements of A intersection B. Let's write that. A intersection B is a set containing elements 1, 2 and 3, right? Now, let's find what is B intersection A. B intersection A is defined as the set containing elements which are common to set B and set A, right? We have seen the elements which are common to set A and set B are 1, 2 and 3 only, right? That's why we can say that B intersection A is the set containing elements 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you see B intersection A has elements 1, 2, 3, and A intersection B also has elements 1, 2, 3. That's why we can say that they are equal, right? A intersection B is equal to B intersection A. This is what we are asked to find. Question 2 is A is a set of elements 0, 2, and 4. Then find A intersection Phi and A intersection A, and then we are asked to comment. This is read as Phi. This is a Greek letter, and it is used to denote the null set. The set containing no elements is called null set, and it is denoted using letter Phi, right? Now we are asked to find A intersection Phi. The elements common to sets A and set Phi are shown as A intersection Phi, right? A intersection Phi is the set of elements common to both set A and set Phi, right? We have seen here already that set A has elements 0 to 4, whereas set Phi has no elements. It means the elements common to set A and set Phi are nothing, right? So no elements are common to sets A and Phi. So we can write A intersection Phi as the set containing no elements, right? It means A intersection Phi is equal to Phi. So if you have to comment about what is the relation you got just now, A intersection Phi equal to Phi, what you can say is intersection of any set with null set is a null set. A intersection Phi is Phi, B intersection Phi is Phi, C intersection Phi is Phi, irrespective of what those sets are, B and C. You can simply say that intersection of any set with null set is a null set, right? Now let's go to A intersection A. We have to find A intersection A, right? Let me write A, that is the set containing elements 0 to 4, and let me write again, so that now you can say what are the elements which are common to these two sets. That is what is your A intersection A, right? 0 is common, 2 is common, and 4 is common. That's why I can write A intersection A as the set containing elements 0, 2, and 4, that is exactly equal to A, right? Now, based on this, what you can say is intersection of a set with itself gives the same set, right? Intersection of A with A gave me A. If I take B intersection B, it is going to be B. If I take C intersection C, it is going to be C. That's what it means. Intersection of a set with itself gives the same set, right? Question number 3 is, if A is a set of elements 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, and B is a set of elements 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15, then find A minus B and B minus A. The difference of sets A and B, that is denoted as A minus B, it is defined as a set of elements belong to A but not belong to B. Please note this. A minus B is a set of elements that belong to A but not belong to B. This can be represented in the set builder form as shown here. A minus B is a set of elements X such that X belongs to A and X does not belong to B, right? To understand this better, let's draw a Venn diagram for these two sets, sets A and B. In the Venn diagram, you see the set A, which is shown using green color circle, has got elements 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, right? And set B has elements 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15. Set B is represented using blue color circle, right? Now, as per A minus B definition, the set of A minus B has to have only elements that belong to A but not belong to B, right? It means A minus B would be having elements 2, 4, 8 and 10 but not 6. The reason is that 6 belong to B also, right? You understood? If you have to mark the region of A minus B, it will be this particular region. You are not going to go into the blue circle. You are going to be only green circle, which is exclusive of the blue circle, right? So let me write A minus B. It has the elements 2, 4, 8 and 10. The reason is that 2 is present here but not in the set B, right? 4 is present here but not in the set B. Whereas set 6 is present here and in the set B also. That's why we are not including 6. When it comes to 8, it is present only in the set A. And when it comes to 10, it is also present only in the set A. That's why A minus B is going to have elements 2, 4, 8 and 10, right? Now let's find the set B minus A. B minus A is defined as the set of elements belong to B but not belong to A. You see, the elements have to belong to B but not to A. That is the idea. Now, if you see 3 belongs to B but not to A, 9 belongs to B but not to A, and 12 belongs to B but not to A, and 15 belongs to B but not to A. That's why we can include these 4 elements 3, 9, 12 and 15 in the set of B minus A. But 6 is not going to be part of B minus A also. If you have to mark the region of B minus A, that is going to be this particular part. You see, you have to include B which is exclusive of A. That is your B minus A. Right? Now let me write B minus A. That is the set containing elements 3, 9, 12 and 15. The reason is that 3, 9, 12 and 15 are only part of this hashed region, right? 6 is part of both. It is at the intersection of A and B. You have to remove that part. That's why 6 is not included in B minus A set, right? Question number 4 is if A and B are two sets such that A is a subset of B, and then what is A union B? Here, this particular symbol is read as union. That's why this is called A union B, right? Before solving this problem, let's understand what is the union of two sets. For that, let us consider two sets, set A that has elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and set B which is a set of elements 4, 5, 6 and 7. Let's find A union B so that we'll understand the concept of union of sets. A union B is the set containing all the elements of A and B. It means in the A union B, we have to have all these 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and the elements of B, those are 4, 5, 6 and 7, right? So A union B can be written as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7. The reason for not including 4 twice is that in the roster form we don't include the same element multiple times, right? For that reason, this particular 4 is not included. So A union B now has got elements 1, 2, 3, 4 from A and 5, 6, 7 from B, right? This can be represented even in Venn diagram form. Here A has elements 1, 2, 3, 4 shown using green color circle, set A, and set B is represented using blue color circle that has elements 4, 5, 6 and 7, right? So now if you read all the elements of this A and B together, then that is called A union B, right? That has elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. A union B can be written in the set builder form as it is a set of elements X such that X belong to A or X belong to B. Please note this. X has to belong to A or belong to B. Right? Now let's go back to the problem. A and B are two sets such that A is a subset of B. Then what is A union B? Right? This is the question. A is a subset of B. It means every element of set A is an element of set B. Right? When you say A is a subset of B, it means every element of set A is also there in the set B. Right? So when you represent this in Venn diagram form, it will be like this, because A is a subset of B. A is a part of B now, right? Now we said that A union B is the set containing all the elements of A and B. For example, if I take any of the elements of any of the elements of A, they are already elements of B also, right? Now A union B says that it is the set containing all the elements of A and B, right? It means A union B is going to be B. Got it? Since A is subset of B, A union B is going to have all the elements of both A and B. That is why it is going to be equal to B. Right? Question number 5 is, if A is a set of elements X such that X is a natural number, and B is a set of elements X such that X is an even natural number, and C is a set of elements X such that X is an odd natural number, and D is a set of elements X such that X is a prime number, then we are asked to find what is A intersection B, A intersection C, A intersection D, B intersection C, B intersection D, and C intersection D. To solve this problem, let's first write the given sets in the roster form. All these sets are given in the set builder form, right? We have to write them first in the roster form. So first one is A is a set of elements X such that X is a natural number. It means A is a set of natural numbers, right? Let's write that. A contains elements now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. All these are natural numbers, right? The smallest of natural number is 1 and you will be writing all the numbers from 1 onwards, right? Now let's see what is set B. Set B is a set of elements X such that X is an even natural number, meaning these are natural numbers, at the same time they are even numbers. Even numbers means they can be divided by 2, right? Now B is going to be having even natural numbers. Those are 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. When I said so on, it means the given set is infinite set, right? Now let's go to the set C. That is a set of elements X such that X is an odd natural number. It means set C is a set of odd natural numbers. Let's write that. C is going to contain now the elements 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on, right? Now let's go to D. D is a set of elements X such that X is a prime number. It means D is a set of prime numbers. Let's write that. D is going to have now elements 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. These are all prime numbers, meaning those numbers will have only two factors, the number itself and number 1. These are the two factors, right? Now, since we have written all the sets in the set roster form, let's start with A intersection B. Let's find what is A intersection B. A intersection B is defined as the set of elements common to sets A and B, right? Meaning A intersection B is the set containing elements common to both the sets A and B. Let's write what is A. It is a set of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on, right? Set B is the set of elements 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on, right? Now A intersection B says that it is a set of elements common to both sets A and B. As you see here, B has element 2, A is having, 4 is common to both, 6 is common to both, 8 is common to both. We have not written further, but then you can write them also. For example, if you write 9 and 10 here, here you will have 10. So 10 is going to be there in the A intersection B. Now, let's write the elements which are common to both. Those are 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. That is A intersection B, right? If you observe, A intersection B has elements 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. That is exactly equal to B. That's why we can say A intersection B in this particular case is equal to B. Now let's see the next part, that is A intersection C. We have said that A intersection C is going to be the set containing elements common to both the sets A and C. Let's write A and see what are common. 1 is common across both, 3 is common, 5 is common, 7 is common, 9 we have not written, otherwise 9 is also common. Like that one can write many. So A intersection C is the set containing elements 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on, right? That's what we have written. Now if you observe this, 1, 3, 5, 7 is what? That is set C. That's why we can say A intersection C is equal to C. Now let's go to A intersection D. Let's write A and D and see what are the common elements for both the sets. As you see here, 2 is common, 3 is common, 5 is common, 7 is common, 11 will also be common, right? Now, let's write the elements which are common to A and D. Those are 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on, right? A intersection D is 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on. Now, we can say that A intersection D is equal to D, right? As you see here, these are prime numbers. That's what exactly we got even when we found A intersection D, right? Now let's go to the next problem, next part of this, that is B intersection C. B intersection C is the set of elements common to both the sets B and C. Let's write what is B. B is the set containing elements 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. These are even natural numbers. And C are set of elements that are odd natural numbers, right? These are even numbers and these are odd numbers. So there is no common element across these two sets, right? That's why B intersection C is an empty set or null set. Let's write that. B intersection C is Phi, equal to Phi. Now let's see what is B intersection D. B intersection D is set of elements common to both the sets B and D, right? Now let me write what is B. It is a set of even natural numbers, and D, it is a set of prime numbers. we know that only 2 is the even prime number. Rest of all the prime numbers are odd numbers. So the common element across these two sets is going to be just 2, nothing else, because all the other prime numbers are odd numbers, right? So that's why B intersection D is the set containing only one element that is equal to 2, right? Now I can say that B intersection D is the set of even prime numbers or even prime number for that matter. Now the last part of the question, that is C intersection D. C intersection D is the set of elements common to both the sets C and D, right? Let's write what is C. C is odd natural numbers and D is prime numbers. As we have just said earlier, all the prime numbers are odd numbers except for 2, right? Now you see this. 3 is common across both, 5 is common across both, and 7 is common. Here you must have written 9 and then 11, right? So 9 is not common, but 11 is common, right? Like that. Now if you write C intersection D, that is going to have 3, 5, 7, 11 and so on. This is going to have all odd prime numbers. So C intersection D is a set of elements that are odd prime number. This is what we are asked to find, right? Question number 6. If A is a set of elements 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and 21, and B is a set of elements 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20, and C is a set of elements 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16, and D is a set of elements 5, 10, 15 and 20, then we are asked to find what is A minus B, what is A minus C, what is A minus D, B minus A, C minus A, D minus A, B minus C, B minus D, C minus B and D minus B, right? Let's start with A minus B first. A minus B is the set of elements belong to A but not belong to B, right? Meaning A minus B is a set containing elements of A that does not belong to B, right? Let's see that now. In set builder form, it is written as A minus B is a set of elements X such that X belong to A and X does not belong to B. A is a set of elements 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and 21, right? And B is a set of elements 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20. Now A minus B, as per this particular definition, it says that the element has to belong to A but not belong to B. Now let's see what is that. 3 belongs to A but not belong to B, right? That's why A minus B will have element 3. Now what about 6? 6 belong to A but not belong to B. When it comes to 9, 9 is also part of A but not part of B. When it comes to 12, 12 is part of A and even part of B also. That's why 12 is not included in the set A minus B. When it comes to 15, 15 is only present in A, right? And 18 is also only present in A and 21 is also only present in A. That's why 15, 18 and 21 are also part of A minus B, right? Now let's write the set of elements A minus B as 3, 6, 9 and 15, 18 and 21, right? Now let's go to the next part, that is A minus C. A minus C is the set of elements belong to A but not belong to C, right? Let's write what is A and what is C. and see whether the elements which are part of A, whether they belong to C or not. 3 belongs to A but not part of C, that's why it can be included as part of A minus C. 6 belong to A and B, all A and C also, that's why 6 we cannot include as part of A minus C. 9 is only present in A. 12 is present in both, that's why 12 cannot be there. And 15 is only present in A. 18 is only present in A, and 21 is also only present in A. That's why 3, 9, 15, 18 and 21 will be part of A minus C. Let's write that A minus C is the set containing elements A but not the element C. A minus C now can be written as 3, 9, 15, 18 and 21, right? Now let's go to the next part of the problem, that is A minus D. A minus D is the set of elements that belong to A but not belong to D, right? So let's write A and D and now see what are present in A but not present in D. If you observe 3, 9, 3, 6, 9 and 12 are present in A but not there in D. When it comes to 15, it is present in both. That's why 15 cannot be there as part of A minus D. And 18 and 21 are only present in A. So that's why A minus D can be now written as 3, 6, 9, 12 and 18 and 21. Right? Now let's go to the next part, that is B minus A. B is set of elements 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20, and A is also now written. Now we have to see what are the elements that belong to A but not belong to B. Sorry, what are the elements that belong to B but not belong to A? Those are part of the set B minus A, right? As you see here, B is only present in A, sorry, 4 is only present in B, 8 is also only present in B, 12 is present in both, that's why 12 cannot be part of this B minus A, and 16 is only present here and 20 is also only present here. That's why B minus A is going to be 4, 8, 16 and 20. Let's go to the next problem, that is C minus A. Let's write C and then let's write A. Now see what are present in C but not in A. Let's start with C. 2 is only present here. 4 is also only present here. 6 is present in both. That's why it cannot be included. 8 is only present here. 10, 12 is again we cannot include. 14 and 16. Now C minus A is going to have elements 2, 4, 8, 10, 14 and 16. Right? Now let's go to the next part, that is D minus A. Let's write D. Let's write A. And D minus A is the set containing elements that are part of D but not part of A, right? As you see here, 5 is only part of D, 10 is also part of D. When it comes to 15, it is present in both, that's why we don't include this. And 20 is also only part of D, right? That's why D minus A is going to be the set containing elements 5, 10 and 20. Let's go to the next part, that is B minus C. Let's write B and let's write C. And B minus C is the set containing elements that belong to B but not belong to C, right? 4 belongs to both, that's why we can't include. 8 belongs to both, that's why we can't include. And 12 is also part of both, that's why we can't include. And 16 is part of both, that's why we can't include. 20 is part of B but not part of C, that's why 20 is going to be part of B minus C. So let me write that. B minus C has only one element, that is 20, right? Let's go to the next problem, that is B minus D. Let's write B, D. B minus D is the set containing elements that belong to B but not belong to D, right? Now you see here 4 is only part of B, 8 is only part of B, 12 is only part of B, 16 is only part of B. When it comes to 20, it is present in both. That's why we don't include as part of B minus D. So B minus D is the set containing elements 4, 8, 12 and 16. The next part is C minus B. Let's write C. Let's write B and see what are the elements that belong to C but not belong to B, and then we can call that as the set C minus B, right? As you see here, 2, 6, 4 is 4 we cannot take, 8 we cannot take, 12 we cannot take, and 16 we cannot take, right? Now 2, 6, 10 and 14 are the elements of C minus B, right? The last part of the problem is now D minus B. What is D and what is B? D minus B is defined as the set containing elements of D, but that should not belong to B, right? Now you see 5 is part of D, but not part of B, right? 10, yes. 15, yes. But 20 is part of both. That's why we cannot include 20. So D minus B is the set containing elements 5, 10 and 15. I hope you got the concept clear. Question number 7 is state whether each of the following statement is true or false. Justify your answers. The first statement is we're given a set of elements 2, 3, 4, 5 and another set that has elements 3 and 6. These two sets are disjoint sets. The second problem is the set of elements A, E, I, O, U and the set of elements A, B, C, D are disjoint sets. The problem 3 is the set of elements 2, 6, 10 and 14 and the set of elements 3, 7, 11 and 15 are disjoint sets. The fourth part of the problem is the set containing elements 2, 6, 10 and the set containing elements 3, 7 and 11 are disjoint sets. We are asked to say whether these statements are true or false. To say that, first of all, we should know what does it mean by disjoint sets, right? Let's learn that. Let us consider two sets, set A that has elements 1, 3, 5 and 7, these are odd numbers, and set B that has elements 2, 4, 6 and 8, those are even numbers, right? These two sets we can show using a Venn diagram. When you represent these two sets in Venn diagram, as you see here, this particular set has all odd numbers and this has all even numbers. That's why these two sets are not overlapping, right? In other words, we can say that there are no common elements present in set A and set B. When there are no common elements, those sets are called disjoint sets. In other sense, set A and set B are not joining, right? They are away from each other. That's why, since they are not having any joint elements, they can be called disjoint sets. Please note this. A and B are disjoint sets because they have no common elements, right? To figure out whether given pair of sets, whether they are disjoint or not, you don't need to draw a Venn diagram. There is another way to do that. We know that A intersection B is the set of elements common to sets A and B, right? A intersection B is the set of elements common to sets A and B. If A intersection B is a null set, meaning A and B have no common elements, right? when you say A intersection B is a null set, it means they have no common elements. That's why A and B are called disjoint sets. Please note this. The point you have to note now is disjoint sets have no common elements. So when we have to solve the problems given, we have to first see whether the given sets have common elements or not. With that concept in mind, let's go back to the problems. The first problem is first set has elements 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the second set has elements 3 and 6. We have to say whether they are disjoint sets or not. In the problem statement, it is given that they are disjoint sets. We have to say whether that statement is true or not. We just learned that disjoint sets have no common elements present, right? But in this particular case, 3 is common across both the sets. So the set of common elements is the set containing element 3, right? If I write set of common elements, I'm getting the set containing elements 3. If it is a null set, then only we can say these two sets are disjoint sets, right? But it has one element. It is not a null set. That's why the given statement is false. It means the set containing elements 2, 3, 4, 5 and the set containing element 3 and 6 are not disjoint sets, right? Now let's go to the second problem. First set has elements AE, IOU and second set has ABCD. And if you observe, A is common across both, right? So let me write the set of common elements that has one element. It is not a null set. That's why the given statement is false, right? Now let's go to the third problem. That is, the first set has elements 2, 6, 10 and 14. The second set has elements 3, 7, 11 and 15, right? These are all even numbers. These are all odd numbers. So the set of common elements is a null set. That's why we can say that these two sets are disjoint sets. That's why the given statement is true. Let's go to the last part of the problem. Here you have set containing elements 2, 6 and 10. Here it is 3, 7 and 11, right? In the problem statement, it is said that these two are disjoint sets. As you have seen here, all these are even numbers, all these are odd numbers. It means the set of elements common is the null set, right? Since it is null set, the given sets are disjoint sets. Please note this, that's why it is also true. The given statement is true. I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel Learn to Score. Thank you.